Good
Hey,
evening, Dennis.
good evening, Jim. Week 9.
Woo!
Unbelievable. Hey, I have to tell you what, the master UFO numbers are going up, and I am so impressed with the amount of unfranchised owners that submitted their homework from last week. It was really good. Kudos go out to all of those individuals who identified those 3 challenge areas
Oh
and made
yeah, nothing
recommendations.
like digging in.
Yes, yes. And it was really, really strong in the things that I saw. It was like, getting better at asking the questions, getting more comfortable. Some of them even listening to more audios to get that belief built up and, be a little bit better in talking in themes. It was pretty exciting.
Oh,
But
that's great. Did you start the closed caption,
yeah, we're
Dennis?
all set. Yeah, we're just waiting to hear where the people are coming from
Oh, where
tonight.
where are they from?
Okay, well, let's see. We've got the Poconos, we got Phoenix, we got
Hey,
Denver rocking.
Susie Mitchell just hit Master UFO and she's on. First
Toronto.
time ever, she's a Master UFO, Dennis.
Great. Congratulations. I'm loving life listening to that. We've also got North Carolina checking in Toronto, Canada. Christine also. And I will say this from the Hamptons in Virginia. I thought the Hamptons were up in New York, but there's Hampton, Virginia also. I think it's a good place to be, without a doubt.
Hey,
But
Steve Rodriguez from Green Bay.
very nice. Very nice. Perfect.
Yeah, very good.
hmm
So
Let's
we have
see.
16 days left. Team, 16 days left to hit Master UFO. We still have 4 weeks of classes, but we had 16 days to finish this quarter strong. So let's make sure we're all ready to go.
Hey, you betcha. We got it. You've got time to make it happen. And I'll tell you what, we have over 2,000 people registered for tonight, Tim. And
Wow.
I'm really excited about having those individuals listening in. And we've been catching wonderful playbacks off of our Zoom scheduling. So we are not going live on Facebook. We decided to just go straight up and really work with those individuals that join us here on our Zoom station with Market America. But tonight is a great night. I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite topics, and I'll tell you why. Over the years, I have really built in a slow, steady, sure way. I'm a little bit different. And what I mean by that, I always led with products pretty much. And even when I got someone that was talking to me about, what are you doing? I want to know what you're doing. And if we were talking about the business, I'd put them on a product because I tell them, no use you doing our business if you don't like our products and services. And it was just such a revelation when we were going through the Master UFO program and we were discussing topics and getting to this week 9 of prospecting through product. It was just an exciting, topic for me as we prepared together on this.
Yeah, I mean, you really set a tone a long time ago of how to build this business the correct way. I still remember. I think actually you might have been sitting in a hot tub in a room in Green Bay telling me after a district how to build this through products rather than just sponsoring and bringing people in who didn't know the products or didn't generate customers and do things like that. And really helped guide my philosophy on the way I would build because volume is what pays us, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to tell you, when we first started up and when Jim came to the table, what year was that? Just
1997, I started, end of 97.
And I will tell you this, some of the most exciting and fun days of working and educating and training have been in Wisconsin. I really understand the cheesehead philosophy and the Green Bay Packers and the Bucks. I got to tell you, congratulations, your Bucks are still in it.
Oh, 2-2.
It's coming down to the wire. Steve is excited about that. Yes,
Steve's
absolutely.
thinking about, well, he's got Sandy there too. Sandy probably remembers the time we drove you straight to an airport.
Well, I remember Sandy.
That next morning is what I'm talking about.
I remember that crew coming off the plane and they had the jam box playing. They were looking for Mr. Energy to dance off the runway. I don't know, but it's never a dull moment. But I'm excited about getting started. So I am going to share my screen. I'll take the controls. We'll just go back and forth on this and, you know, do what we do best. And that's bringing the information and really helping people get to another level of success. Week number 9. So right from the get-go, we just got done with troubleshooting and conversational marketing. I think we had a lot of good feedback coming in from people just getting a better feel of getting engaged. Do you find that, you know, just conversation being a good way for you to start business topics?
It is the best way getting into a conversation. So I loved the last week. If you didn't get to see it, I would go back, see the replays. Make sure you take a look. Like Dennis said, this is all in a playlist on YouTube, which is great for new people as well to be able to take and start following through. But I'm really excited about this week, Dennis, prospecting with products. I mean, I think this is a big focus for both you and I.
Well, you know what? It's going to be a fun night because, Jim, both you and I are going to talk about products towards the end of this session. And, you know, it'll be my opportunity to to really hear you speak about products and how you approach this. So it's going to be great. So let's dive into this. And why don't we start off?
All right. Well, you know, let's talk about why do people buy? And I mean, I think we all know we've got different reasons for doing that. One is to avoid pain. People are going to buy, and one is to increase pleasure. So what do we mean by that? Well, a lot of times people, you know, it's almost like an endorphin goes off when they're buying something. They're looking for something they really want. And when we say avoiding pain, they're trying to make sure something bad isn't going to happen, or they're taking care of a challenge or an issue. So people buy for 2 reasons, and always remember, one of those 2 is why they're talking to you right now.
You know, Jim, you bring up a huge point because we've always taught that find the pain. If you can find the pain, you can grab someone's attention, and it really remains right at the number 1 position why people buy today.
Agreed.
So I want to talk a little bit about Market America's product history. Back when we started back in May of 1992, JR really came to life when he was talking about the mall without walls. He had the plan, that was the number 1 product, but his thinking was that one day that people will want to shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And he was telling me, I remember this when we sat down, he says, we're going to have the mall without walls. And even though we didn't have but 1 product, he says, don't worry about the products. We'll get them. We'll get them. And so we really just sold the vision in the beginning. And then, you know, about a year in, we found the Isotonics Multi-Tech and B12. And that was the first real sellout of products that really made us look into that isotonic delivery system. And still today, we're the number 1 provider worldwide of isotonic capable nutrition. Pretty impressive when you think about what we've accomplished in the last 30 years with that. And then came the super product called Thermochrome 5000. And I have to tell you this was the breakthrough product that when people tried it for 3 days, basically they bought a bottle and ultimately began wanting to sell the product.
That was our original trial size marketing, wasn't it, Dennis? And we sometimes had to do it on our own, put them in a little baggie and give them to people. Wasn't quite as professional.
It's funny that you say that because for a time, that's exactly what we did. And then we moved to a 3-day trial size sampling back in the early 90s. Then we came out with this amazing combination of OPCs, and the OPC3 was born. JR, actually, with his background in biochemistry, made some strong recommendations of combinations of ingredients that really brought home the whole bioflavonoid storyline. And when we started learning more about the grapeseed extract, the grape skin extract, the pycnogenol pine bark, the French maritime bark, and then putting in the bilberry extract, and then putting in the citrus bioflavonoids, we had this amazing product. And do you know, some 27 years later, 26 years later, it's still our number one selling product worldwide, OPC3. Amazing. Then we moved in Dr. Martha Rogers from Bowling Green University through the one-to-one future, came to Greensboro to teach us about one-to-one marketing, Jim, and how product brokering fit in perfect with the concept of serving your best customer and creating that long chain principle of providing products. And if you had the relationship, you could build that share of customer. And product brokering just got bigger and bigger and bigger. We just started literally 50, 60, 70, hundreds of products. And today, well over 1,000 products that we offer. And then Market America University began. And that was really a special time because we needed a way to organize the mall without walls and our product brokerage concept. And the Market America University really came through in helping people select billion-dollar market environments.
Those are some great memories as you sort of walk through some of that. I started after the Martha Rogers one-to-one marketing. That was in Greensboro, and I came in on World Conference of the next year, I believe it was, because you were still talking about it. And it's funny, we were so far ahead with one-to-one marketing, the way the world is trying to catch up with us still with what we're doing. And same thing with the university concept, Dennis, and looking at it and seeing different areas as a brokerage company that we could take advantage of being able to supply through one-to-one marketing, whether it's the age management, the beauty industry, children's care, financial. Look at what's going on in today's world. It's such an interesting time to be able to talk to people about so many different things, whether it be products in the health and nutrition area, whether it be debt reduction, whether it be things like hair and body, whatever it may be. We've got these different universities which give us the ability to work with different people and move different products. I remember early on, I was just focused on bring people in the business, move some products. And I remember having a conversation. You said, Jim, you got to learn to embrace the universities, because even if you aren't doing all of them, you're going to have people on your team who are, and you're going to need to understand how to work with those people to create the full. You can't have 11 quarterbacks. So it really came down to learning, and it's such a great concept. I hope everybody understands it and really leads to being able to, as we said, on your prospect through products. I want to thank, I know he's not on right now because he's doing a presentation, but Charlie Bear just brought somebody into our organization because he was doing a shop financial presentation for one of my leaders, for Shelley Bow, and that ended up helping that person. That person decided to become a business partner. But that's how products lead to people.
No question about it, and it continues to grow. And every organization should look to have 2 or 3 university majors in it. And the longer that you're in Market America, it gives you the opportunity to have a double major or have a major with a couple minors, and it just really flows well for you.
It does. And it's so important learning a way to approach people through products as well. And you'll get more and more comfortable doing this, but I honestly think it's the easiest way, because once you have that system down, the way you're going to do it, if people like the products, it becomes, when people look at the business, there's 2 things they're looking at. Do I like the products, and will it work for me? Well, if they already like the products, we've gotten rid of one of the 2 concerns that we have. We're 50% of the way there, Dennis.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we talk about a lot of things, but it's not always about the money. It's about having options, isn't it? It's about time. It's about having, it's health too. So when you think of all these things, it's not just about making all the money, but what you can do with those options that you have. And I think what we're going to talk about today is going to give you more options.
Right. We hear about people with means, but they really have lost a purpose, you know?
Yes.
So imagine if you can choose any direction in life and not have to worry about it financially, what would you be doing? Really powerful thoughts for each of you to consider. I really like this slide here. I'm not sure if it works for what we're doing tonight, but I wanted to put this in, Jim. And the Dalai Lama, you know, when asked what surprised him most about humanity, this is such a great answer. Man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he never is going to die, then dies having never really lived.
So good.
I mean, that is so deep. That is so good. What the message is from Jim and I, we encourage you to go after what you want because the journey is part of living. But at the same time, once you achieve what you've gone after, you not only have the financial means, but you've created a purpose and passion that you can live with for the rest of your life.
It's so true. And, you know, having a retail driven business like we do, it really becomes, I want you to think about how you can create things. Well, first you use and sell products. Everyone I've ever met who was a great retailer was also a large consumer of products. And I know that sounds simple, but that is what it is. Dennis and I stayed together about a year ago or so. And I think in the morning it was who could drink more isotonic and take more supplements, right? We had these big cups filled to the tops, but that's the way we both do it. Creating that base of 10 to 15 repeat customers. You know, again, and by the way, it doesn't have to stop at 10 or 15, but it does need to start at 10 or 15. And, you know, you might have 2 or 3. Well, then your goal is to get to 4 or 5, then get to the 10 or 15. Generating the 500 BV per month. And we've talked about this a lot through our base 10-7 strong. And that 500 fits right into the master UFO program of 1,500 a quarter. So again, it is the more you use, the better you are at selling the product. So become a great consumer of what we do and then become a great retailer of what we do as well.
And, you know, when you think about it, that's why on franchise owners, as they build their organization, the shopping annuity comes into play. You know, it's not something that you lead with as much as you get as that cherry on top, you know, that extra scoop of ice cream on an already large ice cream serving. But I don't know why I love ice cream. I don't know why I thought about that. I'll just throw that out there. Oh, Lord. You know, choosing the right products is so important. Determining the market, is it large enough? And this is what I like, Jim, about our Market America University. We have already selected billion-dollar markets. Yes. We know you can be successful in these environments. And, you know, whatever you choose, you have to refine, you have to make sure that it has to be in demand, whatever you're choosing. I think you also have to make sure that it's profitable. You need to know who your customer is when you're selecting these products. You know, one of the things that I look for are combinations of products or single products that have 40 or more business volume. Over the years, Jim, you know, people always give me, I still use Pentaxel. I've been using Pentaxel since this has come out. Look at his face. Can you believe this? You know, and it keeps it tight, keeps me young. But that's 48 BV a tube, you know. So I encourage the whole family to use Pentaxel. That's a beautiful BV generator, and it's great because it works. But also, if you have a product that is less than 40 BV, what are complementary products to get you that 40 BV and above? Something also that you can enjoy selling, that's important. Can you be enthusiastic? Can you be passionate? Wanting to learn more about it. And of course, the recurring sales volume is important. Consumables are great, complementary products, and many of our products are consumable. And even our services that you buy one time have hosting fees or lead you to people that buy other products or are environments that they need help. And it keeps the customer coming back. And what we've learned over the years is that an educated consumer is a long-term user. And so we want to continue that experience. So don't stop after the initial sell. Don't take for granted that there'll be a repeat sale. Start educating them.
I love that.
Yeah. So do you have any thoughts on this area here?
The one thing I would say, when you have a new customer, get them to our YouTube station for Market America. Get some of the product videos in front of them. Get Dr. D talking about products. Because Dennis really said it well. The more they know, it's like all of us. The reason so many of us as franchise owners are large consumers is because we have been educated. And the more educated you are, the more you say, wow, I should add another product. And we want to do the same thing with our consumers. And I love what you said about being passionate, enthusiastic about what you do. We have the ability to really do some wonderful things with the products we provide to support people in so many ways. And whether that be through a Shop Financial, helping them financially, or whether it be through maybe health challenges with some of our products. But we've got products you can really bring the passion out with, which is great.
Beautiful. And I want to remind everyone that we have the next edition of our product catalog. It was 104 pages. Now it's 108 pages. It's absolutely beautiful. This is the cover of it. I just wanted to throw that out. And while I'm talking about promoting these types of tools from an educational standpoint, please note and mark down October 9th and 10th. We'll be doing the online product symposium, which is a big help for people to understand why our products do so well. Something that we look at, this is like simple version, Jim. Hey, look, use products, sell products, and qualify new partners. I mean, does it get any easier? I
don't think so. I was smiling when you were talking about that catalog because I remember when I started, Dennis, I got it used to be like a newspaper. Yeah. And it just was a front and 4 pages. And I remember, I came from the printing industry. I was a vice president of a printing company, postcards and printing. And I looked at it and I said, well, where's the catalog?
Hey, we didn't have a lot when we started. This is, and you know what? You bring up a great point because you have to remember, Market America was born in a garage. Okay. JR and Lauren started with Mark and then Joe, and then everybody started growing. But that's where it started. So we always had to liquidate expenses. And, some people say, how can it be a good business if it's less than $1,000 to get up and running and so forth? In fact, it's less than $500, But then again, there's always some additional costs here and there. But you think about the simplicity of this, and isn't it funny how each one of these 3 steps build belief? And how important is belief in being successful in this business, Jim?
It's everything. It really is everything. And it's a great point you just made. Keep it simple, move the products, generate cash flow, get those new partners qualified.
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about prospecting with products. And everything here begins with mindset. Okay, get your head right. All right. And I want you to remember, to get your head right, you might have to have these fire stoking rituals that you do. Jim, do you have any fire stoking rituals that get you ready to go on stage or to train or to call up somebody for the first time?
There's two things that are great. First one is I love to listen to something positive. I love doing that anyway, but I'll be listening to something before I speak or before I do something so that I'm in a great frame already. I've found that when I'm putting good things in, I can't do bad things or have bad things come out. The other is great music that gets you fired up and ready to go. Those are the things for me that I love. And I know music's got to be one of yours. I got to believe that.
Absolutely. And you probably know if you've ever seen me speak that I tend to bust a move or try to dance when I come up to loosen myself up and engage. But in the back, I do little things like, squats, air squats, just to get the blood going, just getting in your mind, walking down. I don't really want to talk to anybody before I go on. Back playing football, I used to tape my wrists a certain way, have my ankles taped a different way, put my equipment on. I wore the same t-shirt for literally a whole season. They did wash it on occasion, but I had to get over that as one of my rituals. Don't mess it up. We won last week.
It's funny because you talk rituals, and we both. I tied my shoes the same way before a tennis match. I had to clip my fingernails before every match. It was just so. But it's not that different in the business world. Before you go to do that presentation, or before you go to make that call. Again, there's certain rituals that we do to be successful. And that's why we do, you can call them superstitions, you can call them rituals, but they're really things that lead to success as well.
Yep, absolutely. And so commit to the product or products, be a product of the product, know the story. So I just want to push on this a little bit. Don't be so concerned about being able to recite the ingredients or the facts or all this. Be more concerned about the market, the challenges that the market brings, and how we went about pulling this product together to solve the problems or provide the solution for that market. That's what's going to really get the attention of individuals. You can come back with the details, but it's that story. And, that's really going to help hook a person into wanting to know more about what's happening. We have our tools to work with. Know your tools. Don't just see them, print them off or watch them. Know what they are. Catalog them. I mean, how many products are you focused on? You can catalog the tools so you always have them. Maybe you start folders with the tools for a specific product and the support products that help enhance that first product that they bring on. Know the value proposition. This is something that I take a lot of time to look at. I want to know what I'm paying. I want to know what I'm selling it for. I want to know my net retail profit. I want to understand the percentage of business volume or percentage of IBV. Because why? Because it allows me to set goals that allow me to meet certain criteria that I need to cover my expenses or to meet the minimums that we expect each and every one of us to succeed with. And then approach, this whole matter of fact kind of approach. I just want you to know something. When you're talking to one of your clients while you're engaged with product and talking about the market, as a matter of fact, what I mean is be comfortable in this consideration. Wouldn't it be nice to tap in? And, I ask little questions like, hey, how many zeros in a billion? And if you had to compare a billion to a million, how would you explain that? Now, this makes great conversation. And I like to equate it, and I always go back to, if we had a million, seconds, how long would that be? And if you took a million seconds, it would basically take you, and each second you can count a dollar bill, Jim. It would take you 12 days to count $1 bill for every second to hit a million. And if you take the same scenario and count $1 for every second, it would take you 33 and a half years to count a billion. So if you think about this, really think about it, $1 billion markets, it's not so crazy to say there's got to be a million in there for me every year.
That's right.
Oh God, I just laugh about this stuff. But again, it's something that you have to be comfortable. And listen, you're taking a swing. You know, we stay the course, we take our swings. Sometimes you hit the ball, sometimes you don't. Even when you hit the ball, they may catch it, but then again, bam, you get a base hit, a double, a triple, home run, score. Woo!
That's right. That's right. You know, and I love, you've always known, like, what's a product cost per day? What is
Nice.
my retail profit on there? Because, you know, for everybody listening, that's so important. If someone says to Dennis, hey, that's a little expensive, is $2 a day too much for your health? You know, it's something I remember a long time ago, him talking about. Knowing how much you retail on a product and how many of those you need to move to be able to afford something you want to be able to do, like get to convention or something like that. Those are that value proposition is knowledge, and the more knowledge again you have, the more power you have.
Bingo. And it's a motivator. It gets you going. I believe
That's
this
right.
is you, buddy. Mhm.
Yeah, and you know, we have a lot of, when you are approaching people, there's a lot of ways to do it. You can share testimonials. You know, so maybe you know somebody who's had some good results with some of our products. Now, again, we always have to be very careful. We can't make any claims or medical claims, but we may be able to say we know someone who had some similar challenges and they benefited through our products. And, you know, it may be something you would want to take a look at as well. Present the business behind the product. Did you know that there is a business behind this? You know, when I started buying products, I was a customer 7 months. I'd never been involved in anything in my life, working from home or networking. I really didn't understand that there was a business behind these products. So that's a good question to ask, but don't assume everybody does understand that. Compliment people. You'd be fabulous at helping others. Always, you know, making people feel good in an honest and sincere way is an excellent way to get the conversation going the right way. This is a wonderful question. Is there room in your life for some additional income? You know, and have them and wait for them to, and most people give it, there's always room for additional income. So then we take it from there. I'd love to show you a way that we may be able to make that possible. And then show the plan and start the evaluation process. These are all great things to be able to do. And there's extra benefits on there. You're saving on your Market America products that you're buying. You know, when I started, I was a customer who took 3 products on a regular basis. But as soon as I could get everything at cost, I thought, well, I better try this and I'll try this. So I'm saving money. You're an entrepreneur. I'd never been an entrepreneur. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And today, it seems like everybody wants to be some kind of an entrepreneur. We offer that opportunity for people to be an entrepreneur. Personal development, I mean, you get so much out of this business. It's incredible. I had a good friend stop over who started this business, Dennis, when he was 18 years old. He stopped over last night. He happened to be, he's from Florida now, he's on the lake. And I was 33 at the time. So this is 4 years ago. This young gentleman, very successful traditional business owner now. But the development, as we talked, and he talked about how much he grew during his time with Market America, not just from what he grew from the income he earned, but where he grew up here and having fun. You know, I got to tell you, when we're talking, Dennis and I, part of the reason we like doing this is we get to have some fun talking about things we've done. Well, you're the one who's going to create the new fun. You're the one that's going to have the story about International Convention when we all came back together. And that's the fun in the journey, team. That's really special.
Oh, that's great. This is a great slide. I'm really loving this. You know, and the only other thing that I would say is this works with the existing client that is using our products. And it could be just checking in, you know, hey, just call and see how you're doing. You know, I heard a great story. Boom, wanted to share it with you. Oh, by the way, I'd love to show you the, you know, just what Jim was saying from there on. So don't be, it's not just for new people looking at the products. And when you're talking about the market, it's also your existing clients. And again, did you notice that Jim talked about earning additional income before he talked about discounts. And I think that's really important. Yes, we can talk about discounts, but we're really looking for business partners looking to create
Great point.
an income. And I just want to make sure that everybody heard that when he said that. And so
That was great, Dennis. We're not looking for a buying club. We're looking for business builders, right? And there's a big difference. And then Dennis really brought that to light, saying it that way. And it's really important because people getting it cost, that is a benefit, but that's not what you're looking. You're not going to build a huge business without you doing everything. If that's the way you approach it, you want to find people who do what you do.
absolutely. So now it starts with you. And everything that you start to begin in talking about the product, the market, what it can do for you, you've got to transfer your enthusiasm to others. I don't know if you understand when we talk about enthusiasm is contagious. When you are enthusiastic, it literally comes out of the pores of your body and it just creates an aura. And understand, don't sell. You know, it's not about selling things that you're not believing in. You know, we're talking about being able to share education, insight, opportunity, solutions with people that are looking for things. It's not what you say, it is how you say it. And you know, we have a saying, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. However, when in doubt, blurt it out. That's cute. That's good. If you're scared, then go for it. However, if you're going to be a professional at this, you're going to have to learn to get comfortable, and you're going to have to test the waters before you start talking to someone. Get a feel, mirror people when you're starting to talk with them. You know, really get the feel of it before you lay out your enthusiasm. I like, Jim, to think about, you know, like a concert or an orchestra builds to a crescendo. So you're not like pouncing on somebody. You're basically coming in and gently rising, 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 and you're lifting that person with you to like, oh my gosh. And they're giving you all the indications, you know, and use visuals. You can use stories and listen, 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 allow them to talk too.
You know, that last part you said, Dennis, of listen, listen, listen is so important. I can't tell you how many times, even not business wise, but Lisa and I'll be out and we'll meet a new couple or we're doing something, and we ask so many questions of people. How long have you lived here? What do you do for a living? And sometimes Lisa will say to me afterwards, she said, well, did you really like the couple? I said, they were wonderful. She said, did you notice they didn't ask one question? See, sometimes people listen, sometimes people just talk. We have to be really good at listening because listening gives us information. So if you're doing all the talking, you're giving the information rather than gathering. Always remember that.
Big point, big point. Love that. So find the prospecting system that's right for you. So I'm just throwing this stuff out. Relationship marketing. You're listening to people. There's an opportunity to share some information about a product or a market or the challenge that people may have and how it's growing. And you can make the recommendation on what your solution was. Being in business for yourself. You know, sometimes, does anybody know someone that doesn't like their job? You know, and, you know, especially the ones where they passed you up when it came to the promotion. But sometimes in conversation, casual conversation, and sharing your excitement about taking action, you know, and start building another stream of income to help you gain your financial position that you're looking for. So sometimes a subtle hint about being in business for yourself. And then people are going to ask you how you came about that. And you have to be ready for your 2-minute commercial. The other thing would be just a straight, direct, and passionate, I can't help myself. I got to tell somebody about what I'm doing. I'm so excited. Or you just, you know, are going in and looking to expand your business because it's just so much fun and it's going so well for you.
And you know, Dennis, that's great to do with customers expanding, and to say to somebody, you know what's happening, Dennis? I am developing so many customers like yourself who love the products. It's getting to be a lot for me to be able to handle. I am looking for someone to expand my business with who already loves our products, who might be interested in additional income. And I would love to talk to you to see if you might be that person.
Perfect. I love that. I love that. I love it. I hope you took notes on that, folks. Okay.
And if you didn't, just listen to the replay. You know, what are your goals? What do you want to do? Is it one new person per quarter? Is it two per quarter? Is it one per month? Is it one per year? Now I'm going to go back to why we're training right now. One per quarter gives you master UFO. So I think that should really be something we push ourselves to set that goal, even if it's high for you right now. Now, if you're doing one per quarter, I'm going to tell you to increase that goal to two per quarter. Get out of that comfort zone. Let's really, really get after it and use the customer approach to be able to really accelerate that. I've seen more prospecting this year, more growth through customers, Dennis, coming in the business than I think I've ever seen in our business. And I think it's because we've developed such strong customer bases with our product line being just a superior line we're able to work with.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that. And you know, when I start thinking about these goals, and even though you may not been successful in sponsoring a new person in a while, I guarantee you, if you start working through your customers and you start talking to the things that we were talking to tonight, you will get people coming into the qualifying process. But again, you have to set goals for yourself. If you aim at nothing, folks, you're going to hit it. I just got to keep pushing on you with that.
And you know, you can do this through face-to-face nowadays. Things are opening back up. Hallelujah. You can do it through Zoom. You can do it with calls. You can do it with social media. You can do home presentations. You know, one of the things I love are home presentations, especially about products, where people can try things, where they can ask questions, where they see the products. I think those are wonderful. Again, there's all different ways, whether it's shop and save, TLS, all these different things that we can do, but they all lead to talking to more customers about our business.
You know, and I'm glad you brought that up with the home presentations, because whether you're a wellness 101 and possibly you can enjoy training and teaching and becoming a product trainee, you can become a Moda's beauty advisor or one of our skincare consultants. You can also become a shopping consultant, but you can also become a transitions lifestyle coach. And again, you can pay it forward and you can become passionate at what interests you. I just love the way this lays out.
and Dennis, this was a picture. This was Suzanne, wasn't it, with her
Yes.
group in the Toronto area? And look at them prepping and talking about products and sharing. I mean, this to me, it's such a magical thing to see people being able to do this and put it together. And I know for a long time, a lot of us haven't been able to be together, but that's starting to change. And I think we have to prepare ourselves to continue with what we're doing with Zoom and with our online presence, but also to get back together as we can safely and really enjoy each other and be able to share these products in this business that we have.
10-4. I'm with you on that. So how to identify your new partners through retailing. So let's just go through this. This next slide, I'm going to throw up on you a little bit. So here we go. Who are the potential partners? Okay. Repeat customers with large orders. Okay. Yeah. Bingo. Love to refer to you and already has referred customers to you. That would be current customers. Concerns with the cost of a product or their budget changing. When somebody comes to me and they say, you know, as much as I love being on the product, it's now whether I'm buying groceries or buying my supplements, And basically that's when I'm just going to say, why make that choice? Let's go ahead, find it easier for you to get your groceries and get your products for free by simply starting 3 new clients on products that you already love. Let me show you the business behind the product. Enthusiastic, loves to help people. This is a big one. I can't tell you how many people are on franchise owners today because they love to help people to pay it forward. They want more in their life. I don't know. Have you ever gotten this specifically a lot from the women that I work with in my business? They came, Jim, and said, I want my own money. I'm tired of getting money from my husband. You know,
Do they want their own money, or they want their own business, their own I don't want to call it security, but something that's theirs, they're doing. And I don't, whether that's male or female, that is a very powerful thing for people to have, because of that sense of self while they're doing it as well, and that they're building something.
right. They could be curious about your business and expressed interest to you. If you have the habit of being happy in what you do, that irritates people. They want to know why you're so happy, you know, and they want to be passionate about something. You know, they don't have that purpose. A business network. They want to leverage who they know. You know, small businesses especially make great unfranchised owners because they've got relationships with existing customers, entrepreneurs and business owners, and of course, self-development. All of these areas. It's funny, when we were talking, I said to Jim, I says, boy, I don't know. I feel like I'm throwing up on these guys tonight, you know, with this slide. Is there anything I missed, Jim? I don't know if you.
No, but there's something that our teammates may have missed, because you said it quickly and I thought it was so good. You know, you mentioned getting 3 customers so that you can get your products for free based on the profit that comes from those. When I started, Dennis, and I don't think I've ever told you this, but one of the things I looked at right away was, okay, if I get 4 customers, I calculated my retail profit that I thought I would have, and I'd say, okay, that's going to pretty much cover my auto ship, which means I'll be getting most of my products for free. And I think that's really an important thing for a lot of people when money is a concern, is their desire. If there's desire, we can work with them, right, and generate more customers.
Great point. Thanks for bringing that up. It's good to have somebody that can compliment you when you miss something, you know.
And you know what? That's a great reason, Dennis, why it's so important when people show the plan. If there's 2 of you together, you're going to do better, because one may be focusing on something, the other can hear what a person misses or could add on to. So team, when we talk about working with teammates, it really is an important thing to be able to do when you start showing the evaluation. You know, and this I loved, we were talking about it today. I think we've all heard of FORM: family, occupation, recreation, money. That's very standard, 4 things we talk about. But this is FORM HD, and that includes, what's another thing we talk about? Health, and what do we desire, or what do we dream about? Now, if you can get involved in FORM HD and get people talking about these different areas, boy, you're going to have a great reason why someone should look at the business. FORM HD, I love it. It's like high definition, it's the top.
And bam, all right. All right. And remember, bring your smile, be positive, you know, look in the mirror before you start talking and you're going on an appointment, and ask yourself, would you partner with you, or would you follow you? And I got to tell you, on a call on Sunday, William, we were talking, one of the teammates, and he's down in South Carolina, and he's very businesslike, you know, and he's in a new area. And he asked the question about, I'm in a new area. We just moved here. I need to meet more people. And so we, everybody, the way we talk about this, we give recommendations, whether it be organizations, clubs, get out, you know, and really the bottom line, I said, William, let me see you smile. Let me see you smile. And when he smiled, he just lit up. And how do you resist somebody that can say hello and smile? You got to say hello back. Now, if you're out and you're meeting people or you're in an environment, this is so, so important. Don't forget this, folks. Something as simple as this goes a long, long way. And as Yvonne, my assistant, says, and even if you're wearing a mask, they can see it in your eyes. So
That's true. We all know that the last year.
Amen. 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 Okay. Follow up with your customer prospects. Okay. So you made this wonderful introduction to the business behind the product. Make sure you're following up in 24 to 48 hours or as soon as possible. Share complimentary products. Give them a little more insight on that. Maybe it's a shop.com overview. I got to tell you what, Jim, I am so excited about the new Shop Live that's coming with your unfranchised marketing app July 1st. My gosh, you're going to love this. We'll come back and we'll do some trainings on it, but I got to tell you what, we were in a meeting today and I'm just so excited. Conference calls or meet with senior partners. You know, this is where you really want to come into that pop on with your senior partner or somebody that can relate to that client that's considering the business behind the product. Sell tickets to a local or to the major events. I got to tell you, I don't know about you, Jim, but I'm still of the faith that I will sell a convention ticket before I put somebody in the business if they can say I can only go one or the other. And
100%, Dennis. I'd rather have them get the education because you know once you get them there, they'll find a way to get started if they really see it.
Absolutely. And this comes down to it. And by the way, mark your calendars once again, August 26th, 27th, 28th. And we are going to be live. That's right. We want you in the seats in Greensboro, North Carolina at the Coliseum. And I realize some of our international partners won't be able to make it, but we are going to make it a hybrid. But for those of you that are in the United States or in countries that you can travel, come on and get back in the celebration. Let's get back together and keep moving forward. And always connect. Remember, connect their why with our business. This is especially important to me, why they want to have the business. And then as you speak to building the business, you can constantly refresh their mind. And this is how we'll get X or Y. And this is how we'll do Z or A. You know, you can always refer back to that why, but follow up is really important.
That is such good stuff for everybody right there.
Absolutely. So, all right, Jim. So what do you say we finish up this segment by talking through a few products and and see what we can deliver? All right. So first, I'm going to let you know that what we're going to tell you here, we did not have the FDA evaluate this. So it's going to be all true. But the bottom line was we're not intending to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. Let's just start with this product. I'm going to lead off here, then you come in. All right.
All right.
All right. So we introduced this product, Ultimate Aloe, with Astoril astaxanthin. So why do we say Astoril? Okay. I just want you to know this is an ingredient from algae and not from crustaceans or seafood with shells per se. If you have allergies, you don't have to worry about this. And astaxanthin is sort of like the next big ingredient following curcumin, you know, so I just want you to realize that. But the first part of this product starts with the aloe vera plant. And I just want you to understand over 200 nutrients. It has been one of our top 5 selling products for, gosh, it has to be 27, 28 years. Yeah. And it continues because it works. The active aloe and the fact that we work with the National Aloe Science Council, and there's some consistency in the kind of aloe we're delivering in its components. Also, when we're talking about the astaxanthin, this product deals a lot with stomach health, gut health. And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people that have gut health issues and that they're looking for solutions. Now, with that, we talk about the active aloe. If there's one thing that makes our aloe different is the fact that it's standardized. This is very important. The other thing you need to understand is that we put 150% concentrate in the aloe juice. So it's not just the aloe juice, it is 150% aloe. What's that mean? It's a concentrate. We know what the standard is with the nutrients. We take the regular 100% nutrients and add another 50% of the nutrients. And that's so great when it comes to getting results from the aloe. Now, the asteril is a carotenoid. Okay, that's a phytonutrient. It's an antioxidant. It works in so many different ways, but this is a vegan or cultivated harvest from freshwater microalgae, not shellfish. So it's easily digested. So one of the big things, it supports a healthy digestive tract. Now, remember, aloe does that too. All right. It also supports the immune system. Remember that aloe does that too. And a healthy gut means a healthy immune system and usually a happy person. Promotes healthy skin, normal blood sugar. So you can see this begins to be very exciting when you start the storytelling on it. So what you're doing is you're mixing the ultimate natural aloe flavor with the astaxanthin. And now you have the ultimate aloe with asteril and astaxanthin. But look at this. Look at the price. Now, when you look at this price for $29.95 to be able to enjoy a product that's going to help relax and heal in the gut area, people with those challenges are going to try it. Easy entry, Jim, into getting new clients, new products, new opportunities with that. So please, folks, if you haven't tried it, Ultimate Aloe with asteril astaxanthin. The market is huge in gut health.
Oh, that was so good, Dennis. And I'm having some aloe as I'm sitting here. I always do that whenever we're speaking. It's wonderful for my throat while I do that. And, you know, when you listen to Dennis, you think, wow, could I ever be that good at talking about products? Anybody else feel that way tonight? Here's the beautiful thing about it. A, you don't have to be that good. We've got it all laid out. You know, recently with one of my customers, I did a consultation where we went online and we went to shop.com. And as we looked at it, and I think I may have mentioned this last week, Dennis, I asked her for what she currently takes for supplements now, and I asked for any conditions she wants to improve on. And then we just went in and we looked at the shop.com per product, and it would say increases energy, supports mental focus and attention. And I said, this is a product I think you should look more into and get more information. You have the tools in your hands to be able to do this, everyone, and that's what makes it great. I love, and I get to talk about our Thermochrome V6, and I have been a Thermochrome. When I started, Thermochrome had just come in. I love the V6. Lisa loves the V6. I've been instructed we cannot run out of two products, Bliss and Thermochrome V6. So when you look at this, it's a synergistic blend of ingredients that when you combine them, they work better together than they do separately. That's an easy way to think about it. And look at what it does. Promotes thermogenesis, assists the body in using fat and fatty acids for energy, promotes weight loss, may reduce the potential for the body to store. How many of you are, as I'm looking and reading a couple of these, are saying, man, I want to do that. Helps curb appetite. Now, Dennis put on here, what's it cost? $1.67 per day. A lot of you probably didn't know that. You're probably thinking, well, the retail's, you know, $49.95. It's $35 on franchise owner cost. You get 25 BV, but it's $1.67 per day. Always take your products, break it down. What would it cost that customer if they're buying it at retail to be able to order that? And then when you start looking at some of our ingredients, and Dennis would be much better talking about this than me, but I'm going to give it my shot because this is how we get better. Our Capsamax, which we have 100 milligrams of, clinically supported ingredient with the same active and concentrated capsaicinoids. How'd you like that, Dennis? An ingredient found in red chili peppers. It's been used for centuries. And again, everything I'm sharing with you, you can find online. You don't have to hear it. You don't have to be Dennis. You don't have to be me. But when you look at these and the metabolic benefits that this kind of a product has, you have it in your Thermochrome V6 for you and for your customers to be able to share. I'm going to, Dennis, move us forward as our time goes, but we've got studies on it. You can look at them and see what they do to curb appetite, promote the thermogenic and lipo. How do I say that word, Dennis?
Where, let me just look, let me find the word.
Lipotic activity. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing I'll tell you I do. If I can't pronounce the word, I typically try not to say it. It's better to sell products that way. Well, but here's what I am going to tell you. Here's how we tend to move a lot of products. Here's how I move a lot of products. I take it. I love it. I can get you all the information and we can go through it on our shop.com or our isotonics.com and share with them. Simple is better when you're worried about being perfect.
Right. And you know what? You did a great job with this. But I think the funniest thing, I mean, the best thing that I heard is the two products that you don't want to run out with. The Thermochrome V6 to bring you up and the Bliss to bring you down. Gee, your household must be special, Jim. I got to tell you, I got to talk to Lisa about that.
Yeah, she would tell you. It's a fact. It's always special.
By Migra, the head discomfort, for head comfort. People don't realize how big this market is. And, the real breakthrough here are some proven ingredients that I'll mention to you. But look at the price. Such a very reasonable price at $34.95. We're talking a $25 cost, and we're talking close to a 37% return on cost of goods. And again, your BV value is nearly 80%. My gut feeling about this is that when people are uncomfortable with head discomfort, this is a product they want to look into. It promotes blood circulation to the brain, which is very important. And it's very important to have the normal blood flow to the head and neck, especially if you're feeling stress in your life. Healthy levels of serotonin releases, as well as, once again, supporting the healthy flow of blood to the brain. One of the things that I love is magnesium. Magnesium, if you are aware of that brilliant mineral, it is very good when it comes to head comfort and head discomfort relief. So that's pretty strong. Here's the two superstars. It's the Butterbur and Feverfew and by Migra brings to the table. I love the clinical studies. And one of the things that I'll just say to you to help develop the storyline, just look up the amount of people in this country or where you're from that deal with constant head discomfort. The other thing that I want you to be aware of is that this is a product that people can try and get results with the first 30 days that they're working with the product. So love this a lot. People that have this challenge want to hear about it. Go to shop.com and find it out. There are some great products that assist in that area and helping to relieve that stress that may cause the head discomfort.
There was my Bliss product right there. Did you see that?
I saw that.
And then now we've got our Vivaquin. And you and I were talking about this, and while it's wonderful for many things, look at some of the things right on the front here: immune, respiratory, and wellness. Are those things we're all are very important to all of us right now? Now, it's got something called Vivomega, which is a highly concentrated omega-3 fish oil that's part of this. So we've all known for years how important omega-3 fish oils are, providing ultra-pure and specific amounts of EPA and DHA. So this ingredient is produced in Norway and has been clinically studied for numerous health benefits. And the ingredients and formulas for the effects on promoting immune health, normal respiratory, and Dennis and I were talking a lot. There are a lot of people who struggle with respiratory function and supporting a well-balanced immune system. Again, personally, I have been taking this product, Dennis, and love it. It's something when it came out right away, Lisa and I both jumped on for the health benefits. You know, we've got the thymoquin, which is a clinically researched ingredient in the black cumin seed. Utilize the whole seed of this powerful, not a part of it, not just the skin. And thymoquin, excuse me, contains a standardized 3% ingredient with proven clinical efficacy. So you put them together. Again, this is a lot of, you know, what I've learned over the years, what Dennis has taught me, and I've learned from some of our great teachers at Market America, is talking about synergy, putting in different ingredients together. And when you put those together, it has the ability to balance immune and inflammatory responses. Viva Omega has a first-party study with thymoquin. Both support the health of a body. Now I'm going to hurt on this word, Dennis. Cytokines.
That's right.
Cytokines,
yeah.
which are biomarkers of the immune and inflammation cascades.
You're a star, my friend.
I don't know about that. Here's where I do well, when I get to benefits. Okay. Supports that healthy immune system. I want to go back to talking about not just the immune system, but what did we talk about before? Supporting maybe the respiratory system as well, the body's natural defenses, the well-being with that. So this is, if you haven't tried this product, this is another product that can lead to customers, which can lead to, again, new business partners over time. We only covered 4 products, Dennis, but boy, those are four great products, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. But each of them have a story that you can depict from it. So I apologize, folks, that I didn't write out your homework assignments. So I wrote a couple things down here on my tablet. Jim, feel comfortable in adding to it. Number 1, pick out your favorite product and write a short story of approximately 100 words about it. And in that story, what it should talk about is the market, the solution, and the challenges that people have. The other thing that I would like you to do is take 3 of your customers, and I want you to call them up, find out how they're doing, and I want you to ask them if you could show them the business behind the product. And I'd like to know the results of that.
Oh, repeat that one. 3 customers.
Okay.
Ask them how they're currently doing, and ask them if you could share the business with them. And again, it could be for an evaluation to lead to new customers, to lead to other people. It could be for them. But this takes a little bit. You're going to have to step outside a little bit and push yourself a little bit to do that. We've done this, Dennis, on a couple accountability groups and had huge results. People they never thought would be interested in the business, who they've now sponsored and partnered with in the business. So I love that homework assignment.
Great. So again, get that product that you're going to write the storyline about, and then 3 customers that you approach to see how they're doing, and then ask them if they will evaluate the business behind the product. And please let us know the outcome. We do look at these when you send them in. Jim, next week, you're going to be leading the show.
Oh, we got follow up and closing. How important is this for everybody? You know, when Dennis and I put together the outline here, we looked at, we're getting close to the end of the quarter, Master UFO. So we're going to hit follow up and closing. So those of you who still need to sponsor that one person, we should be in that position now. We know a lot of you are going to get this in the next 2 weeks. And you've been working. I can't tell you, Dennis, how proud I am of, you know, again, all the people on tonight. The replays are in the thousands constantly. There's a lot of people who understand what this can do for them. And I know we're both really proud of everybody on here. And as always, spending a Monday night with you, Dennis, it's not a work night. It's a fun night.
Thanks, Jim. I look forward to being with you next week. And thank you for being with us tonight, and make it your best week ever.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great rest of the week. Do something great.